Today, we're working on a very useful Spanish tense, the simple future. This is the one that helps you say things like, I will call, we will go, it will rain, or everything will be okay. And the good news, Spanish makes this much friendlier than it may seem. In many cases, you just keep the whole verb and add a future ending. Nice, clean, no wrestling match. The core idea is this. For most verbs, you take the infinitive, the full dictionary form, like hablar, comer, vivir, and add the endings, as, a, hemos, es, han. For our lesson, we'll focus on the most useful everyday forms, especially the ones you'll hear and use all the time. So, hablar becomes hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablarán. Comer becomes comeré, comerás, comerá, comeremos. Vivir becomes viviré, vivirás, vivirá, viviremos, vivirán. A quick memory trick, the future endings are almost like a tiny ladder climbing upward. As, a, hemos, han. If you can hear the rhythm, it sticks better. Try it with me. Hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablarán. Good. And here's what makes the simple future so practical. You use it for 3 big jobs in daily life: predictions, plans, and promises. Predictions: mañana lloverá, tomorrow it will rain. Plans: llegaré a las 8, I'll arrive at 8. Promises: te ayudaré, I'll help you. Now, one very useful side note. In everyday Spanish, people often also use ir a plus infinitive to talk about the future. Voy a llamar means I'm going to call. It's very common, especially for near future plans. So what's the flavor difference? Simple future, llamaré, can sound a bit more like will call, or a little more neutral, sometimes a little more formal, sometimes more like a prediction or promise. Voy a llamar often feels more immediate, more already arranged in your mind. But in real life, there's overlap, and that's normal. For example, esta noche voy a cocinar. I'm going to cook tonight. That sounds like a plan. Esta noche cocinaré. I will cook tonight. Also correct. Maybe slightly more like a decision, statement, or promise depending on context. Let's get this into your mouth and memory. How do you say tomorrow I will call you in Spanish? Mañana te llamaré. Mañana te llamaré. Good. Notice te for you, because in Spanish, call you is llamar plus te. How do you say we will have more time later in Spanish? Tendremos más tiempo luego. Tendremos más tiempo luego. Excellent. That verb tener is important because it's irregular in the future. And this is where Spanish says, I was being a little too nice. Let me add a small twist. Some very common verbs change their stem in the future, but the endings stay the same. That's great news because you only need to memorize a few special stems, not a whole new system. Here are the big everyday irregulars to know. Tener becomes tendrá, so tendré, tendrás, tendrá, tendremos, tendrán. Venir becomes vendrá, so vendré, vendrás, vendrá. Poder becomes poder, so podré, podrás, podrá. Hacer becomes har, so haré, harás, hará. Salir becomes saldrá, so saldré, saldrá, saldrá. Decir becomes dir, so diré, dirá, dirá. Querer becomes querrá, so querré, querrás, querrá. A tiny pattern trick. Many irregular future stems are shorter and stronger, like they packed a travel bag and removed extra letters. Tener drops the E and gets a D. Tendrá. Venir does something similar. Vendrá. Hacer gets very short. Har. Decir gets super short. Dir. The endings still ride on the back the same way. As, a, hemos, han. Let's hear these in real life. Tendré una reunión a las 9. I'll have a meeting at 9. Vendrás mañana, right? You'll come tomorrow, right? Podré ayudarte después. I'll be able to help you later. Lo haré esta noche. I'll do it tonight. Saldremos temprano. We'll leave early. Te diré la verdad. I'll tell you the truth. Querrán descansar. They'll want to rest. How do you say, will you come with me, in Spanish? ¿Vendrás conmigo? ¿Vendrás conmigo? Nice. How do you say, I will do it tonight, in Spanish? Lo haré esta noche. Lo haré esta noche. Perfect. That little lo means it. Very common. Lo haré means I'll do it. You'll hear that all the time. Now let's make the simple future feel more human. Imagine regular daily situations. Prediction. El tráfico estará terrible a las 6. Traffic will be terrible at 6. Plan. Llegaré después del trabajo. I'll arrive after work. Promise. No olvidaré tu cumpleaños. I won't forget your birthday. Offer. Te ayudaré con eso. I'll help you with that. Assumption or guess. Estará en casa. He or she is probably at home. Literally will be at home. That's a bonus use of the future in Spanish. Sometimes it expresses probability in the present. At B1, just notice it. You don't need to overthink it. Estará bien. Estará bien. Good. A very useful phrase when life becomes dramatic for no reason, which, to be fair, is often. One small but important detail. For temporary state or condition, use estar. So estará bien, it will be fine. But for identity or more permanent description, you'd use ser, like será difícil, it will be difficult. Or será una buena idea, it will be a good idea. Short side note, big payoff. Let's build with a few more. Mañana compraré pan. Tomorrow I'll buy bread. Después cenaremos juntos. Later we'll have dinner together. No podré ir. I won't be able to go. Te escribiré cuando llegue. I'll write to you when I arrive. The last one is interesting. In Spanish, after cuando referring to the future, you often use the present tense in the subordinate part. Cuando llegue, literally when I arrive. Very natural Spanish. Te diré mañana. Te diré mañana. How do you say they will leave early in Spanish? Saldrán temprano. Saldrán temprano. Now, common mistakes. First, mixing up the simple future ending with an infinitive. For example, not llamaré but llamar. If you want I will call, you need that future ending, llamaré. Second, forgetting that irregular verbs still take the regular future endings. So not tendréis, well, that form exists in Spain, but we're not focusing on it. For our practical everyday set, think tendré, tendrás, tendrá, tendremos, tendrán. The stem changes, the endings are the familiar future endings. Third, using voy a when you specifically want the tone of prediction or promise. Voy a ayudarte is fine, I'm going to help you. But te ayudaré can sound more like a clear promise. I will help you. Both are useful. Think of voy a as already moving toward the action, and simple future as the broader will form. Fourth, forgetting accents. Hablaré is not the same as hablaré in writing. The accent helps mark the future form. In speech, the stress also matters. Hablaré, tendré, vendrás. Let's do a quick rhythm round. Listen and repeat in your head or out loud. Comeré, I will eat. Vivirás, you will live. Tendrá tiempo, he or she will have time. Haremos café, we will make coffee. Podrán entrar, they will be able to enter. Diré que sí, I will say yes. Now a mini story. First, I'll say the whole thing in Spanish. Just listen. Mañana me levantaré temprano. Prepararé café y revisaré mi agenda. Después tendré una reunión importante con un cliente. Por la tarde haré ejercicio si no lloverá demasiado. Luego llamaré a mi hermana y le diré cómo me fue. Al final del día, estaré cansado, pero contento. And now the same story one line at a time. Mañana me levantaré temprano. Tomorrow I will get up early. Prepararé café y revisaré mi agenda. I will make coffee and check my schedule. Después, tendré una reunión importante con un cliente. After that, I will have an important meeting with a client. Por la tarde haré ejercicio si no lloverá demasiado. In the afternoon, I will exercise if it doesn't rain too much. Luego, llamaré a mi hermana y le diré cómo me fue. Then I will call my sister and tell her how it went. Al final del día, estaré cansado, pero contento. At the end of the day, I will be tired, but happy. Now, tiny correction moment, because this helps you sound more natural. In that sentence with si, many speakers would more naturally say si no llueve demasiado, if it doesn't rain too much, using the present after si. That's a very useful real-world pattern. So the story gave you the future flavor, but the everyday natural version would often be haré ejercicio si no llueve demasiado. These little patterns are gold. Let's pull out a few more useful future lines you can actually use this week. Te ayudaré mañana. I'll help you tomorrow. No vendré el lunes. I won't come on Monday. ¿Cuándo tendrás tiempo? When will you have time? Todo saldrá bien. Everything will turn out well. Ya veremos. We'll see. That one is short, common, and wonderfully flexible. How do you say when will you have time in Spanish? ¿Cuándo tendrás tiempo? ¿Cuándo tendrás tiempo? How do you say everything will turn out well in Spanish? Todo saldrá bien. Todo saldrá bien. Beautiful. Salir in the future, saldrá, often means turn out, come out, leave, depending on context. One verb, several jobs. Very efficient. Before we finish, here's the practical shortcut I want you to remember. Ask yourself, is this a future idea? If yes, you have two very common tools. For something immediate and already planned, ir a plus infinitivo is great. Voy a estudiar. For a prediction, promise, formal statement, or just a clean will sentence, use the simple future. Estudiaré. And for many regular verbs, just keep the infinitive and add the ending. That's the big win. So the main takeaways are regular future is infinitive plus endings. Important irregulars include tender, vender, podr, har, saldr, dir, quer, and the tense is perfect for predictions, plans, and promises. One last pair for your ear. Voy a llamarte. I'm going to call you. Te llamaré. I will call you. Both are correct. Different shades, same future world. You covered a lot today. And more importantly, you covered useful Spanish, not museum Spanish. Real Spanish for calendars, texts, weather, promises, and daily life. If you keep hearing and using just a few of these forms, like llamaré, tendré, vendrás, haré, and estará, they'll start to feel automatic. So next time you think about tomorrow, don't just think it in English. Try it in Spanish. Mañana estudiaré. Luego trabajaré. Después descansaré. Small sentences, big progress. You're doing well. Keep going, keep noticing patterns, and remember, little by little, hablarás con más confianza.